Welcome to the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir?
How are you?
I'm just one of those days, brother. Just making me laugh here. If we got started, I was trying to keep a straight face. I couldn't get it locked back in. I got that visual.
Yeah. I hear that a lot. Yeah.
You already starting today?
I mean, you never know.
You never know.
Never know. All right, so we got episode 242 coming your way here
Let's
on
go.
this Thursday. It's final day for me to make a miracle run.
You can do it.
I'm going to do what you do when you're way behind. You just start throwing the deep ball, see what happens.
Yeah, you never know.
Bring the blitz, throw the deep ball.
You gonna put Aaron Rodgers in to throw your deep ball? He's a good Hail Mary thrower. He seems to have more success than others.
He's about my age. I mean,
there is a new Aaron Rodgers documentary coming out on Netflix.
I saw that.
Have you watched the trailer for this?
It's pretty
thing?
interesting.
Bro. Like, if the trailer is anything like the documentary is going to be, I mean, we all thought this dude was off the reservation a little bit, but he may have jumped the shark on jumping off the reservation. I mean, it was some bizarre. The trailer is bizarre.
He's a different cat.
Yeah, but that trailer is bizarre.
It is.
I've met different people.
Yeah.
This is not different. This is bizarre. Like, different is over here. Bizarre is over here.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bizarre, a lot of it.
You think? With a lady drawing stuff on his stomach, painting his stomach, telling him that he's releasing the pain?
I mean, he felt pain-free afterwards. Maybe it worked.
Whatever works. I was just like, wow. It was different. It was different. So, yeah, we're ready to go, man. It's going to be a great weekend. We're going I have a feeling, and we'll make sure we do this on the YouTube and not the audio file. I have a feeling that Brock and Knox are coming down with the sniffles. They seem to be struggling when they went to school today.
Yeah. Kind of coming that way?
Yeah, we may have to keep them out of school tomorrow. You know, got a couple sniffles. You know, don't want them to.
I've heard the best thing you can do with that is to go to like a conference championship game on a Friday night in East Alabama.
I heard.
That's what I've heard.
I heard that something about when you cross the state line.
Mm-hmm.
Every state line you cross, your fever falls like 3 degrees. So
you can
maybe we can drop it
cross one.
I think they got like 101 fever, 101.6. I think it's what their fever is.
That'd get you down to 98.6.
Oh,
would be perfect.
Okay, yeah, we may need to do that.
It'd be good.
Yeah, may need to do that. So it'd be good.
All right,
let's crank her up.
All right, here we go. Welcome into episode 242 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this December the 5th. It's a Thursday, heading into the weekend. Hope everybody's had a great week. Hope you're on your way to having a great weekend. We've been brought to you by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoots on rolling with the cherry limeade today. 2 days in a row on the cherry limeade. Man, it had been a minute since I had a cherry limeade. Now I hit one the other day and I was like, man, that's pretty damn good. But Scoops, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping. I actually will be stopping by Cooper Chevrolet tomorrow. The Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping, and it's going to be bumping today. And make sure everybody knows it doesn't matter if you're on TikTok. It doesn't matter if you're on YouTube. If you're listening in your car, wherever you're at, Twitter, make sure you go by and see our friends at Cooper Chevrolet. You can go by cooperchevrolet.com where they have the Chevy Red Tag continuing. Bring everyone together this holiday season in a Chevy. Call our good friends at Cooper Chevrolet at area code 256-236-4481. Scoops are also brought to you by our good friends at PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Low Ranch products. You can get all of your fishing needs in custom golf cart retrofits where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. Located right there in Grenada, Mississippi. You can also go, and more importantly, it doesn't matter where you're located. Go to ptgoutdoors.com and make sure that you get something special this holiday season for your favorite outdoors person. How we doing today, my friend?
Good. It's day after signing day. that's done in the books now, pretty much. Like maybe one or two other stragglers to go, but most of it's done. So you get a couple of days to breathe, and then the portal craziness begins. From a journalism standpoint, I laugh at the portal coverage because there are people who have content quotas at like On3 and stuff like that, and they will write stories about how this prospect and this player and this player and this player fit, and it's like, well, he plays football. He's in the portal. He plays a position that your team is potentially looking at. So technically, he fits. Congrats.
Technically, that works.
And it's just on and on and on. It's incessant.
Is that a quota thing?
It's quota meets fandom. Yeah. And it's just an inability to kind of do it. I don't know. Look, it might be the right way to do it. I don't know. I mean, I've said this all along. I mean, I'm not pretending to be an expert on covering it, but to me, it's like I'm not going to write the story until I know the guy's coming to visit. At which point I'll write, hey, this guy's coming to visit. These are the other schools he's visited. This is what he did at his previous school. What I don't like about the portal, especially in light of like the conversations that different coaches had yesterday, including the one that I cover on a daily basis. Credit to Lane Kiffin. He talked about money yesterday.
Yeah,
openly.
I want to talk about that today.
I asked a couple questions, several questions, in fact, about that. He answered them, which I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I've seen other coaches get criticized today for answering questions about salary. I asked Lane specifically, is the portal more expensive or high school more expensive, or does it vary? And his answer was, I guess, kind of what I expected. It was, no, it varies. It's all over the place. It's
position based usually.
Yeah, and he admitted that they have a budget on their. It came back as like there's no cap, but he was like, it's not like the NFL where you have a cap, right? You have a structure, a salary structure that's in place that doesn't exist, and different teams do it different ways, and that you have to have a degree of discipline. Like, Deuce Knight signed with Auburn yesterday, the quarterback from Lucedale, Mississippi, and Lane referenced it without saying Deuce Knight's name. And a lot of people were like, oh, that was a shot at Auburn. That was a shot at Hugh. And I was like, no, it wasn't. It was an honest answer. It was we put a valuation on that player, and then we had to be disciplined when somebody else had a higher valuation. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It doesn't mean they're right. We'll find out, right? We'll find out, did Auburn make a more accurate freshman year Deuce Knight valuation than Ole Miss? We don't know that today.
Yeah.
There's no way to know that today. There's no way. You can argue that they did or that they didn't. And it'll be nothing but an academic exercise because there's no evidence to support either hypothesis, correct? So, no, I thought he was just very frank. One of the things that he said that I thought was fascinating was this rev share stuff, which won't go into place until July the 1st, meaning the money won't literally be in your hand until July the 1st, is already being used not only with high school recruits, many of whom will arrive on campuses in January, and with portal guys, who almost all of whom will arrive in January. And so you're going to have a gap from January to July to pay players with money that you don't have yet. And then it's going to lead to, in his opinion, he said, you're going to have, I don't know if he said shocking. Seems like he said shocking. I hate to put that word in his mouth. He said it's going to be numbers that you're going to hear for players in the portal that, whatever word, stun, shock, surprise. I think he thought it would, you'd look at it and go, whoa, right?
Yeah, what you got is you have teams are already operating. What he said yesterday, the thing I like what he said is he kind of brought to light to the fans a lot of things we've been saying here, but nobody, he's obviously got a bigger audience than we do doing what he's doing. he was 100% correct with the revenue share thing. People are using that in their negotiations. With that being said, the prices are going to elevate because there's so many more teams that now have a little something that didn't.
Right.
And so now there's going to be more competition for players. When you have more competition for players, now you're going to have the prices are going to rise. And to the point where somebody's got to say, I think you said this last week or hell, maybe Monday. It's going to get to a point where somebody goes, by God, we want him. We're going to pay double more than what he's, we want that guy.
Yeah.
Some boosters, we want double.
Yeah.
And so the prices are going to do that. Now,
you see it in Major League Baseball, right? Where the owners come in, even though the general manager
I think that's what you're referring to
and the scouting people are looking at a pitcher, and I'm just using base numbers. They look at a pitcher and go, okay, well, we think Max Fried, right, is worth $20 million a year. We've plugged it in, and I'm just making up numbers before anybody goes, well, he's going to get 26.2. Just chill a minute. They've got a system. They look at his WAR. They look at his health. They look at his age. They've got this computer program that they use that they believe in, and it spits out a number that says Max Fried is worth $20 million a year. And so the offer you make to his agent is, all right, we'll give you, 6 years at $120 million. Okay. And maybe that's the general market. Maybe the Braves say, okay, we'll give you 6 for 120. And maybe the Cubs go, all right, well, you know what? We'll top that a little bit because we know you're giving them maybe a little hometown discount. We'll go 6, 125, right? We'll give you just a little more to make you feel better. All it takes is one big owner, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Phillies. Somebody goes, screw it. It's just money. We'll give you 8 at 270.
Yep.
Well, now you've blown the market up. Max Fried goes, well, holy shit, yes. And he's a Philly, right? And he signs the thing, and now everybody else behind him goes, all right, now that established a new market. I'm also a left-handed pitcher who's roughly Max Fried's age, who has roughly his same stats. My WAR is just a tick off his. He got 270. I want 250.
Yep.
That becomes the market. And to think that won't happen in college athletics, especially college football, especially at the programs that are borderline stupid, which is the whole SEC, because the rev share, what Lane was getting at yesterday, that a lot of people, I've been surprised at how few people picked it up. Even though I wrote about it, it tells me that I did a really bad job writing the column, which is not surprising.
Come on.
It's not. I did a bad job writing the column. Because football fans are so obsessed right now with, oh, you're whining about the playoff. He's not whining about the effing playoff. He's openly said they screwed up games, that they probably weren't good enough up front. They missed a running back. I mean, he said those things. What he's saying is, if you'll get away from the emotion, and I realize that's impossible.
Fanatic.
If you'll put the fanaticism away for just a minute, what he's saying is that when you put rev share in, and I've been using a base number, I'm realizing this is not the exact number. $20 million.
You're close.
Okay. Let's call it $20 million of revenue sharing that's tied into your university budget for paying football players. Salary. Okay. That's $20 million. All of the Big 12 will stop at $20 million. All of the ACC will stop at $20 million. Yeah, it might be an exception, but for the most part, they're all going to stop at $20 million because $20 million is going to be painful enough.
Yes.
In the Big 10, Michigan's going to go over. Ohio State's going to go over. Oregon's going to go over. Penn State probably goes over. That's probably it. Minnesota, Maryland, Iowa, Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois, they're not going over. Well, in the SEC, there's a real chance that these collectives go, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's just keep going. We got people with jobs and stuff. Let's just keep doing it. Let's raise the money because, God, we've got to do it. Okay, well, you know how this works. If suddenly you put the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets and the Phillies and the Angels and whoever the other big spenders are in the same damn division, all that's going to happen is that division is going to become a booger bear. Is what's going to happen because all the players don't give a shit about anything but who's paying me the most. So they're not going to go, well, I guess I could sign with the Mets, but then I'm going to be in the division with the Phillies and the Yankees and the Dodgers, and I will never win. And no, they're going to go, hey, you're offering me more? And so when if everybody in the SEC has 20 but spends 32, you're going to have more and more players that come to the SEC, which means the SEC teams are going to get better and better and better, which means parity is going to increase. And if parity increases, you're going to have less boundaries. Everybody's going to be a homogenous blob in the middle, beating each other. And if everyone beats each other in the current market with the playoff the way that it is today, the SEC is truly going to cannibalize itself.
Yeah.
That was the point. It got lost. I'm not sure two people got it. Which tells me that I did a really terrible job of writing the story. Clearly, Lane Kiffin understood my question because he ended up talking about something that he had walked into the room saying, I'm not going to talk about.
That was funny.
So he got it. And then he and I talked afterwards, and he was talking about, we talked about it even more. But right now, the fans aren't in a place, I think, either I didn't write it properly or the fans aren't in a place to even think about this right now because they're so obsessed with this playoff. And the point that he was talking about had really nothing to do with this playoff. Does he think his team's one of the best 12? Of course he does. I basically agree. But they have a loss that is essentially disqualifying.
Yep.
But his point was, this is where we're headed. And if we don't put people on the committee who understand how difficult it will be that winning in the SEC is going to be more difficult than winning in the other leagues. And we don't weigh that. We don't find a way to measure that in the equation, that this is going to sort of lead to a lot more Ole Miss, South Carolina 2024s down the road.
So there are two things in place, or I shouldn't say in place, wrong words. Two things that people are hoping about with the revenue sharing. And I talked to a couple teams about this last couple of days dealing with my day job. So allegedly, this is what's hilarious to me, they're allegedly going to crack down with the collectives on market value. And I'm like, well, how are you going to do that? There's no market set.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. So that was the NCAA's hope. I think in reality, the hope is from you're going to have rev share, but to bring where the collectives aren't out of control is booster fatigue. They're hoping booster fatigue is a real thing.
Yeah, and it could be. I don't know.
We don't know.
But it hadn't been yet.
Hasn't been yet. We don't know. I think it is in reality at some places. But regardless, it is going to bring up, it's going to help teams maintain their roster. What I wanted to talk about on signing day is, I want to talk about the Tyler Lockhart thing. I think that's hilarious. All right, but signing day to me has never meant less than what it did yesterday. It used to be a big deal, all this stuff, and everybody. I got asked 800 times on TikTok Live. I got to tell you a story when we get done with this. I got asked 800 times, what about this class, that class? It doesn't matter. You're renting the players. You're renting them.
Yeah.
So is it easier to keep them once you got them? Yeah. But you're renting the players to the point that West Virginia and North Carolina don't have head coaches right now. West Virginia signed a class. They don't have a head coach. They signed 22 kids yesterday. And they actually took a 4-star player from another school yesterday.
Yeah.
Don't have a head coach. And you think about it, and it's like it's the way that was a really easy sell. And it's really it makes all the sense in the world when you think about it for 5 minutes. Is they don't have a head coach. The players, if they say, hey, I don't want to sign with you, everybody else is already done. And so they're like, hey, I'm either going down, way down levels because nobody else has spots, or I can sign with this team, and if I don't like it, I can leave.
Leave in May if you want.
Can leave in May. So they just kind of signed to hold their spot kind of deal. They signed 22 kids yesterday with no head coach. What a world we are in.
Well, I think you're about to see an incredible push of players into the portal. I have a colleague in the Rivals Network at another site who has been putting together a list through some contacts and stuff of who's in and who's likely to get in, it's incredible. This is a long list. I mean,
you're going to see a big list because these new kids, what you just mentioned just a second ago with the rev share and collective and the amount of money that's being thrown out, they're already on rosters and they're like, hey, rev share's coming in.
Yeah.
These new kids are getting this, but I mean, they're going to, if nothing else, just to test the market.
Right.
Like, it doesn't even mean, I would be interested. I bet there is an all-time high. I will say this. I bet there is an all-time high of people entering the portal that come back. They get raises.
Yeah, could be.
I think there's going to be, because I think there's going to be an increased amount of people just going in to try to get more money where they're at, because some of these places didn't have much money, and now they're going to get an influx of cash. They're going to go in to make sure they got their piece of the pie. They're not going revenue share with the, if you're at a school that doesn't have a lot of NIL right now, you're not going to have little Johnny's not going to be playing at your school next year for the same amount of money.
Yeah. The part of this that I've said it 1,000 times. I'm as a person who really doesn't have a college team and cheers for pro teams. If you put this system in the professional leagues, they would die. It shows me. I mean, it really does. It makes me. It wows me. It does. I mean, I'm glad it exists, right? I still have a few years left to work. Might not be in this field, but if potentially in this field, and if it is, I need the sport to continue to do well. But I look at it and go, wow. I mean, if you did this in the NBA, it would die. If you did this in Major League Baseball, all the Braves fans, if at the end of every season,
there would be no Acuna.
If Acuna could leave,
or Albies, or Riley.
If you didn't, you had
Strider.
You had 6 seasons with Dansby Swanson before he left. You had Freddie Freeman for how long? I mean, a long time, right? I mean, if Chipper Jones could have left every year and just gone, okay, I'm going highest bidder, because there would have come a point where the Braves would have been like, well, as much as we love him, we can't pay him that. That would have happened.
Yeah. That you'll turn into it. If you don't have money, you're going to turn into a team of draft picks and players and veterans that nobody else wants.
And that's going to diminish your fan base.
Yep.
That doesn't appear to be happening in college football. It's the power of alma mater. It's what I've told you, man. Sometimes I've stood in a stadium that's just going crazy at the end, and I'm like, is it like me and like 10 people on the kitchen staff in there that don't care? I mean, that's like, that just don't. I'm almost like, I look around and I'm like, wow. There are a lot of people that had just, you must have had those. I mean, when people go the best years of your life or whatever, I guess for a lot of people that's the truth. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just kind of blown away by it, that it's that powerful that you can have this type of roster turnover year over year over year. And now we're all saying the quiet part out loud. And not only saying the quiet part out loud, the numbers are just nuts. Like I question, and I'm wrong. I will tell you up front that I think I'm wrong. But I can't help but go, man, I just don't know how this works long term.
I think the longer we go in this, I think part of the reason that there isn't as much apathy, I think it's the apathy is it's not if, it's when. I think teams have to go through a suffering period first of where they got it taken away from them. Like if you're an Ole Miss fan, hell, they love this system. Ole Miss fan loves this system.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's worked for them. Absolutely.
It's worked for them.
Yeah, sure.
It goes to a part where they struggle because of it. If it turns out they go portal heavy and miss, or they
Sure.
How about this? Florida State fan loved this system last year. They don't love it this year.
Right.
I think it's going to take more fan bases are going to have to go through what Florida State's gone through this year than to get to where there's a collective of people that go, this shit doesn't work.
Well, and I do wonder. And again, I'm all for the kids getting paid. I'm all for the kids getting paid.
1,000%.
That being said, the following is just a pragmatic statement, okay? All right? I have a 21-year-old kid. She's an honors student, literally in the honors program at her school. She's got almost a 3.9. She's got a job, kind of 2 jobs. She's an officer in her sorority, the whole deal, okay? Yep. My point is, really responsible kid. gets up in the morning, makes her schedule, does her schedule. If you threw $1 million into her pocket tomorrow, I question how disciplined we'd be, right? I mean, I question how effective
Amazon packages showing up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you threw that in her world, I think it would be. I mean, I'm all for my daughter making $1 million. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do wonder when you have a roster full of suddenly guys that are making $250,000, $300,000, $350,000 to play a football season. I do wonder about will the inevitable chaos be manageable? Because look, how comfortable are you with statute of limitations? 10 years?
Me? I don't know.
Okay.
I'll always judge it. We 242 in this bad boy. I'll figure out how to manage it.
I'll leave you out of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. It's very nice of you.
Your average SEC team, their payroll pre-2020, I'm guessing, all in, the car it took to get you, the groceries that mysteriously pop up in your freezer, etc. I'm guessing the budget was somewhere between $2 and $4 million.
You mean to give you an allegedly?
Sure.
You're way high.
Okay.
Way high.
Okay.
Way high.
Let's go with my low number then, just for kicks and giggles.
Okay.
For kicks and giggles.
That's allegedly what I heard.
Okay. So let's just say that allegedly it was $2 million.
Still high.
Okay, but let's just use that number.
Cut it by 75%.
Then if that's the case, where this is going, man, this is completely uncharted territory. Because it's one thing for kids to have, hey, a little money pops up in an envelope on the kitchen table at your apartment, and your refrigerator is just mysteriously stocked during. You leave for the workout meetings on Sunday, and when you get back, your refrigerator is stocked. That's one thing. This is a completely different thing. And I do wonder, like, the chaos that's inevitable with it. I wonder how that ultimately impacts the product. But we'll see. I think I am obviously wrong. I can't help.
It's wild, dude.
I can't help but have those thoughts cross my mind. Like, I wonder how that's going to go.
I was talking to a buddy of mine. I want to talk about this. I was talking to a buddy of mine. This was Tuesday. It's the day before Sunday. We're talking on the phone. He's a head coach. We're talking. It's like, he goes, dude. He's like, you don't even know this. This is so fucked up. Like, for the fans, I'm gonna peel back the curtain. So it goes quiet on Sunday, and then so Sunday when all the kids go home, a normal signing day. Back in the old days, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, before around COVID. Quiet period hit, and then you went dead on Monday and Tuesday, but it was unlimited phone calls. And so from Sunday night till Wednesday till the NLI came in that's no longer there, and the grant aid came in, it was just nonstop on the phone. You just melted the phone off to your face. And you just melt the phone off to your face. Trying to, hey, this was the best place for you. The coaches are going to have the best relationship with you. This is the best fit for you. This is the best scheme. You're selling your school. You're selling yourself, the relationships you've built. You're really working on this. He's like, dude, the last 48 hours, he goes, has been nothing but phone calls to agents and dealing and working deals out.
Yeah.
I'm losing kids. Like, I'm on the phone with this one agent, and then I got another one coming down the hall because this guy that's been with us for 9 months has now gotten a better deal somewhere else. And it's just like, we're playing. He says it'd be like a GM trying to sign their entire. And he goes, oh, and by the way, the portal opens next week. And so not only do you have your players that you're trying to sign, the 20-something, whatever, let's call it even 20 for numbers, the 20 that you're trying to sign and negotiate deals, you got the other 85 on your team that wants to go in the portal. They're trying to negotiate a deal. He says it'd be like an NFL GM trying to negotiate over the phone every single player's contract in a 48-hour period. He goes, not one time did I go, hey, you know what we do schematically is going to fit.
No,
hey, this place is going to bring more value to you. You get your education here. He goes, not one time in a conversation did that occur. He goes, this is wild. A GM in 48 hours I'm a freaking NFL GM. This not only doing, he goes, he brought up the Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah.
You know, the Saquon Barkley deal that they were trying to negotiate the deal with Saquon Barkley on the Giants Hard Knocks in the deal, whatever.
Yeah.
Off-season version. He goes, this guy had a whole week to negotiate Saquon Barkley's deal. I got 48 hours to negotiate 105 players deals. I got 48 hours. Not only to negotiate them, but get them to the finish line in 48 hours. He goes, this is the craziest shit I've ever been a part of.
And you're not dealing with.
He goes, I'm not dealing with like
right. Scott Boras.
Jimmy Sexton's name came up. He says, I'm not dealing with Jimmy Sexton here.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm dealing with Billy. He said, I'm dealing with Billy Bob Sessions.
Yeah.
You know,
it was, no, I mean, you're not, well, you know, it's people do the professional athlete thing. If you're a general manager of pick a sport, Major League Baseball, you're a Major League Baseball general manager. When you're negotiating with the player's agency, right? You rarely get into the financial stuff with the player and his family. Not till the bitter end, really, is what I've heard. Because you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to in your conversations, like when the Cubs were recruiting Dansby Swanson, they talked money with his agent. They talked fit with Swanson.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I don't want to make you a number when if we get you, we have a working relationship. You're going to be a human face of our franchise. We don't want you to just be a number.
You got to separate it.
With the agent, we got to talk brass tacks at some point, right? That's not happening now. Now you're having to talk money with mama and stepdad and ask me how I know. And these things are happening. And these are not professional negotiators who have been doing this for a living, who understand that sometimes a low offer is not a personal affront. It's just, hey, we're trying to get this done. And it's a lot.
There needs
and
to
again, you sign a 4-year contract that's got a,
and
it's
and when you go on there, it's
voidable in 4 months.
If that.
It's just insane.
So, fun fact I do know this is that with these guys that sign with the schools that have no head coach, once they name a head coach, they got 30 days.
Yeah.
So like they could name a head coach and then Monday they could change. But
yeah, they could get out.
It's wild, dog.
It is. It's crazy.
The Tyler Lockhart stuff. I'm sure y'all had to talk about this morning.
We talked about it.
I don't want to bore you. This is going to be quick here.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be really quick. I got asked, I did a live last night. Got asked 800. I didn't even know what happened. Okay. First of all, I didn't know what happened. I was doing the live. I didn't know. So the people on TikTok refreshed me and then I read on it this morning. This Tyler Lockhart situation. Back in the old days, this would be a big deal. Back when we had these binding contracts called NLIs. You remember them good old days, Scoops? Back when them old boys were back when we walked uphill to school both ways, back like 3 years ago, when you had NLIs that were binding, this would have been a bigger deal. Okay. When you had to like sit out a year after you transferred and all that shit, it would have been a bigger deal. Allegedly, what would happen is you had, if he was a minor, you had to have the kids and the parents' signature if he was a minor. Okay. And the first one to get that in, like I tell you, I would panic sometimes. You never had this problem, but you would panic when the kid would just sign it and the mom or dad wouldn't. So you had to send it back every once in a while. Not very often, but you'd coach them up pretty good. So in this situation, I try to say, I was like, look, guys, it's not that big of a deal. The kid, like with the portal the way it is now, he's either going to fit at Mississippi State or he won't. And if he doesn't, he can pick up and go. But, maybe he does fit. I just thought it was very bizarre in today's world that I can't ever get my head around the fact that we all know when decision day is coming, like for a long time in this recruiting process. You would figure, I would hope that by the time signing day comes around that I have sat down with my child and we've made it like, hey, we're going to, before we go show up tomorrow, this is what we're going to do. That's just so bizarre to me that you can have a parent and a child with 2 years notice of a date can't come to a consensus agreement on something. That's the most to me,
Yeah.
the most bizarre stuff isn't that he signed with both places.
Right.
The most bizarre part to me, and I've never understood this. It's happened a few times over.
Yeah.
And I saw Chase said something or tweeted something maybe that he was talking about. Saw one that had signed with 2 schools and like 2 junior colleges.
Yeah.
I've had kids sign with JUCOs in case they didn't qualify.
Right.
Doesn't even matter. I don't understand ever how a parent that has the sign and they know going in that the parent has the sign. This is not like, surprise, it's signing day. Oh shit, the parent's got a sign. This is coached up beyond means.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
How a parent and a kid that knows signing day is coming years out. Like a kid at this level has been being recruited for 3 years. For 3 years, you knew this day was coming. And the kid had been committed for how long? Has he even been committed to anybody?
He's been committed to state for a while.
Okay. Knew it was coming. Hey, look, this is what we're doing tomorrow. Like, I can't imagine my household being that disorganized. Can't imagine my household being that disorganized. Can you imagine yours?
No.
Can anybody imagine theirs?
The part that I can't get past is just the dad part. As having a child that age, I can't. We've done the college choice thing here, and with Carson, he's not the prospect athletically that Tyler Lockhart is, but he has at least 2 athletic opportunities if he had decided that's what he wanted to do. And we went through pros and cons and visits and all of that stuff. I can't imagine as a mom and dad telling my son you can't do what you've chosen to do, especially in an environment, and you know this because you've been around it. I've covered it. Once you get through with all the money and all the stuff, that 6 a.m. workout's a real thing. All the meetings, preseason camp, the wear and tear of a season, just the grind of a season. It's hard enough at a place that you wanted to be. Doing it at a place that you didn't want to be kind of sucks. And so that's the part that, and I don't know. I know nothing about the kid. I've never met him.
I've never met him. I'm sure he's a good kid.
I'm sure he's a great kid. This isn't about this, and this isn't about Ole Miss or State, like whatever.
Yeah, they can leave tomorrow if they want to.
Yeah.
Both sides.
As a parent, I can't imagine telling Carson if he told me, "Hey, Dad, I want to go to X." I can't imagine me telling him.
That's the thing, right?
Because I'll give you an example. I had some people in my life when Campbell was going through the college process. At one point, she was going to look at Mississippi State, and I had some people that I'm friends with who know me, who knew that, who were like, "Oh, you can't let your child go to Mississippi State." And I was like, "Why? Why?" "Well, that would hurt your business." I said, "Well, then I'll just deal with it." I was like, no. That's that. I said that she didn't sign up for this. She has the right to go where she wants to go. There were,
See Grind. Grind said in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, pro-choice when it comes to college decisions.
I'm pretty pro.
That's good, Grind.
Here's the thing for a conservative, I'm pretty pro-choice in general. I told her, I said, you can go where you want to go. And there were people that were like, oh, there was like, a couple of my subscribers, the crazy ones were like, oh, you're only sending her there because you hate Ole Miss. You want her to go to a big rival. I'm like, she doesn't know. Of course not. That's ridiculous. I mean, I can't imagine being in that home today, looking my kid in the eye and going, I know you wanted to go there, but you can't.
Yeah.
When he'd earned an opportunity to go there, right? That's the part that.
Well, here's
the whole we're going to pull the big brother's offer if that's indeed what Mississippi State did, and that's alleged. I have no idea whether that's true.
Yeah,
or not. I would be like, well, you know what? I don't really. If my response to that would be, I don't want any of my children to be someplace where you're that cutthroat.
Right. So just I will be completely transparent here. When we were recruiting somebody, if I knew that there was you had to find the decision maker. Okay, you had to find out who was going to help them make the decision. Now, I recruited that person just as hard as I did the kid. Now, it wasn't to force him to go somewhere, but during the process, it's a long process. They talk all the time. You want somebody talking good about you feeding good information to somebody they trust. But when it came down to it, I've had a lot. I mean, it's happened a lot that I had the mom or I had the dad, but the kid just for whatever reason wanted to go somewhere else. And so, but if you got the right people in your corner, it'll help you get them. But I've never, I know it's happened. It's just I can't see it where parents actually choose for them. All right. Briefly, then we're going to get some ads and then picks and get everybody out of here today. College football playoff came out, obviously. It went just like we said it was going to go, literally almost verbatim what we talked about on Tuesday. I mean, almost verbatim. The only thing that was different in my head, the only two shocking things to me. I had two things that I was kind of okay. I didn't understand how I thought Ohio State would drop more than they did, but they didn't. I thought Ohio State would drop more than they did. And that was about it. And then the other thing was probably Miami, where they dropped. It was interesting that they put them in between Alabama and Ole Miss. Just interesting spot to put them. Yeah. I thought that they dropped them. They would drop them in between Ole Miss and South Carolina, but they didn't. All right. So it's just like we said. This is going to be really easy to watch this weekend. Besides seeding and moving things around, if SMU wins, Alabama's in. There's not even going to be a meet. They may not even meet. They'll just meet and decide what matchups they want.
Yes.
All right. If Clemson wins, the decision is going to be between SMU and Alabama. All right. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But that doesn't matter. Here is reality. And I'm going to say this. I don't know how else to say this. In the history of time, this is about money. Everybody's like, how does Alabama get? It's about money. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. But everybody's like, how does this happen? I'm telling you how it happens. If Alabama gets in, it's about money. All right? They're about making money. Have always been about making money. Will always be about making money. Back in the very first college football playoff scoops, the part we were in, they had a decision to make between Baylor, TCU, and Ohio State for the fourth spot. Who do you think got it? Baylor, TCU, or Ohio State?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. It's about money. Always has been about money. Always will be about money.
I think the frustration with people is that we're not being transparent. It's
agreed.
It's my complaint with all of it.
It's not transparent. What are they doing? Why are they not being transparent?
Well, because they want to be able to manipulate it at the end.
They want to do what they want to do to manipulate it for money.
I got it.
And it's.
I mean, I understand it.
I know you do.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Again,
you got to decide between SMU going to Notre Dame and playing Notre Dame, or you get to decide between Alabama going to Notre Dame and playing Notre Dame.
Of course, because you're going to get the TV number.
You're going to get the TV numbers about money.
Yeah.
This is sourced by somebody that's in this space, and you can probably guess where I got this information from. The amount of marketing money that is being put into the college football playoff by advertisers is more than 3 times the amount of money that has been put into college football the entire season.
I'm sure.
3 times. You can take the whole season of marketing, Dr. Pepper commercials, everything. In the course of 11 games, there's going to be 3 times as much ad revenue generated in 11 games than the entire season of college football combined. And it's like 290-something games.
Well, thank God we'll have Boise or UNLV on one of those. I mean, thank God.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, maybe we might even get Iowa State on one of those. I mean, how great will that be to have Iowa State in a national quarterfinal?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm excited. You excited? I'm excited.
Yeah, and then so that's the thing is I know there's going to be pissed off people. I know Miami's per sources. I know Miami's pissed off. The whole ACC's pissed off in general. But again, I don't. I'm just saying they are.
Yeah, I know.
And you got South Carolina fans upset. Everybody's going to be upset. You're never. And look, and I'll tell this too. If the decision is to go at some point in time, hey, I'll tell you what we're going to do, guys. Look, I know we had a mess this year. Next year, we're going to go to 16 teams. Well, guess what's going to happen next year? Teams 17, 18, 19, and 20 are going to be pissed. It does not matter. I mean, shit, we got a basketball damn tournament that has 68 fucking teams in it. And people get pissed off.
But not many.
But they do.
They do, but not many, because at that point, like when you don't get in, when you're one of the first 4 out in basketball.
They still get pissed though.
They do, but their argument's pretty shallow.
Right, because you probably had a losing conference record or close.
Like you went 7-11 in your league.
Or you're a mid-major that went 25-1 and lost in your turn. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, right? So I get it, but no matter how many teams we put in there, there's still going to be people bitching.
The SEC's complaint right now is that the league was clearly the best league.
Yeah.
It is the best league.
Correct.
It's the toughest league. The road's impossible, et cetera, et cetera. That's their complaint. The complaint is that if you look at it metrically, if you were to go, hey, let's put a committee of people together who know what the hell they're looking at and put the best teams in, the SEC would get 6.
Yeah. TJ, appreciate the super chat, says if the playoffs are about money, why not just take Indiana and Boise out and place Miami and Ole Miss in? Problem solved. Well, 2 things. One, problem is not solved because you took Indiana out and they're a Big Ten team.
Yep.
The money is the Big Ten and the SEC. That's the money. Both of them. Okay, both leagues. That's problem one. The Boise thing is like you're not going to get any argument from Neal. You're not going to get any argument from me. But if they didn't put the Boise's, if they did not give a group of 5 spot the way this is all voted on, they would have never got a playoff to begin with. They had to do that in order to get a vote to get a playoff.
Yeah, and by the way, the basketball tournament to the football tournament argument is just it's apples. It's apples to Labrador Retrievers. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work.
Doesn't work. All right, last thing we're gonna get to picks. The coaching carousel. I will say this on the coaching carousel, and I'm going to leave it at this. There are a lot of coaches coaching this weekend that's probably going to create some movement come Saturday and Sunday. And so a lot of the coaching carousel is going to be full tilt next week. Yeah. I'll be very interested because there's going to be coaches that are in current jobs that are going to take other jobs, and so it's going to continue. The cycle's going to get cranked up. So you're going to have this cycle here. Then I'm going to state it again. Hear me now. The over-under, as I said 2 weeks ago, was 2.5. Once the college football playoff season is over and the NFL head coaching vacancies start to get filled, there is going to be college coaches taking NFL jobs. I set the over-under at 2.5. I may be low.
Okay.
I got another one 2 days ago that's going. I'll tell you off the air. It's going to blow your freaking mind. All right.
I don't think you could blow my mind.
I will blow your mind.
Okay.
All right. I'm not going to say it on the air. But you're going to have another cycle that's going to start in January.
Are you telling me Bryant Vincent's getting the Cowboys job?
That's not supposed to talk about that on the air. How about my man BV?
Every time we get something going, we lose our running back. He enters the portal. Now we're going to lose our coach.
Don't talk about BV like that, man. Come on. That's my guy. I'm just joking.
Who will get the ULM job when Bryant goes to the Cowboys?
You?
Saban?
Nick, yeah. Somebody asked. Nick is helping West Virginia, by the way.
I tell you, he could really help West Virginia.
That ain't happening. People think that's happening. I was like, no, guys. So he's going to retire from Alabama to take West Virginia job. And they were like, that's home. I said, yeah, but home is where your family is. Family's not. And then I sang the song, my home's in Alabama, no matter where I lay my head. All right. Neal, do you know what I would really like right now?
Oh, I can only imagine. You'd probably like some Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce.
I would.
But you know what I would recommend? Get them covered in sauce.
Let's go.
Wendy's new saucy nugs. Take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper. Only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you.
Spicy.
That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you have never nugged before for a whole new way to nug. It's got to be Wendy's at participating
spicy
U.S. Wendy's.
Spicy. Scoops. You know what? In order to go to the Wendy's drive-thru,
you need a car.
You got to have a car. And you know what you need to do if you need one of those?
My brother once went through the drive-thru at Hardee's, I think, completely naked on his feet. He did have to evade. He evaded the police.
We've turned the page on that.
Yeah.
You'd be
you know, when he was a little boy, we would dare him to like streak in the neighborhood, and he would do it. And apparently that impacted him as an adult.
Yes. Yeah, we need to get him some better help. But that seems like a deep issue. Some deep issues he's dealing with.
BetterHelp.com/MPW. So when I was little, my brothers would dare me to streak.
Just to dare me, and I would do it.
And I would do it. Now, as an adult, I'm going through the Hardee's drive-through naked on my feet.
I get shit all the time. Like I was, I could be coerced into doing some stupid. Not that I could be coerced into doing some stupid shit. Like I hope my mom and dad aren't listening. We were at Paul Limbaugh. My buddy Paul Limbaugh had at his duplex there in North Point, and we'd been partaking in some Diet Millers one night, very heavily, and we would get crazy. I won't tell all the stories, but somebody gave me $20 to this is before NIL scoops. It was tough times. Somebody gave me $20 and dared me. We ordered a pizza. We came in late, ordered a pizza, and I jumped up on. I got up on the roof of the duplex from the back, and then crawled over the top. And when the pizza man came, I was going to scare the pizza guy, and so I thought this was a great idea. So he comes and rings the doorbell, and I jumped off the roof to land next to and landed off the roof right next to the pizza guy. He just dropped the pizza and hauled ass. But when I landed, I'm trying to break my fall, and I'm Diet Millered in. I landed, and I tried to, give a little bit, and my knee came up. I kneed myself in the face.
Oh my God.
That hurt.
I bet.
That hurt. But yeah, I jumped off the roof of the pizza guy. That was a lot of fun. So, but anyway, when you need some saucy nugs and you need to go through a drive-through, go to Kia of Meridian. Look no further. Are you looking for an unbeatable deal? Kia of Meridian has you covered with rates as low as 1.9% on new rides. Whether it's the ever-popular Telluride, the Sorrento, the Sportage, or the K5, we've got something for everyone. Plus, a huge selection of new and used vehicles. And here's the best part, Scoops. You know what happens when you buy a new or used vehicle from Kia of Meridian?
You get to spin the wheel.
You get to spin the wheel and win wonderful, awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Don't wait. Come by Kia of Meridian or call 601-483-6441. Kia of Meridian, your road, your ride, your deal. Somebody said it in the Cooper Show Hotel earlier today. I got to bring this up. You're going to die laughing. I had Aaron crying yesterday. I need you, when we get, I'll show you the picture. It's on Twitter. Somebody in here tagged us. So yesterday I'm doing a TikTok live. Okay. And we've gotten so many people come on the lives. When we get over a certain number, I don't know if it triggers bots. I don't know what program it triggers. People will try to come in on the TikTok live and be a co-host. Okay. And you'll get a notification of a profile, and it gives you a box to check that says, don't ask again for 10 minutes, because I'm technically challenged and I can't figure out how to set it where I don't allow co-host during the show,
Mm-hmm.
Well, so every day I get these, and I'll hit I just got one. I've gotten two since we've been on the show. I'll click this box, and then I'll hit decline. And so it'll give me 10 minutes. Well, yesterday I'm in the middle of a TikTok live. Somebody's asking me a question, and I hit the box, and in my head, I don't know what I was thinking, but I hit accept. Like accept. In my head, I was thinking accept the 10-minute ban or whatever.
Yep.
And Scoops, we had two ladies come in on the live.
Oh, yeah.
Like co-hosting, split screen.
Yeah.
I don't know where they were from, but they were in full garb. I'm talking about going blah, 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 blah. I mean, and they were wanting to play a game.
I bet.
No, they were playing
I bet.
No, play some game on the thing, not that kind of game. And I was trying to get them off the live. I didn't know what button to hit to get them off the live. And so I'm sitting here and I'm trying. I have no idea how to boot them. No idea. And I'm like, go away, go away, go away. Oh, Cole just sent it to you. You see it? Yeah. So I'm going, go away. And she was trying to do sign language. And I'm like, no, go away.
You have groupies.
And so I'm trying to say stuff, and people in the chat, Bobby Brooks was in there. People in the chat are trying to tell me things to say to get them to go away. Like BOMB, like go Trump, whatever. And I was like, I didn't know what I could say because I didn't want to get banned at the same time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I couldn't figure out how to get them off there. But anyway, that was a fun time yesterday. That was the best thing that's ever happened. I was crying. I could not get them off the thing. They were on there for like 5 minutes going.
That's fantastic. So good.
So you can go, Kyle Hood. He appreciate you. Kyle was there. Kyle tagged it. That's the deal. I couldn't get him off the TikTok. Anyway,
That's fantastic.
we'll get one day. I'll let you see what happens. We'll do that on TikTok one day.
Oh.
All right, Neal. We've reached the time.
Yep.
There's no more avoiding it.
Yep.
It is time for the final Mega Rain picks. I'm sick, so I can't do the full voice. Picks of the year going into the last week. For the punishment, Neal is 69, 78 and 2, minus 5.89 units. Tyler is 75, 72 and 2, plus 4.6 units. I have a 10.49 unit lead going into the last picks of the year. Here we go. I guess so what we'll do is I'll start it.
Yeah.
And then you can just either, so you don't dupe, because we don't have that many picks, that many choices. So you can either, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Pick number 1. Spent a lot of time on these because I knew that I kind of have a feeling what you're going to do, so I can't have a bad week.
Yeah, I've spent virtually no time on these.
I know, because I know where this is going. So, Scoops, game number 1. There's a game tomorrow night. I will be attending. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are traveling to God's country.
This is smart of you. You're preventing me from countering.
Not really.
Well, I guess that's true.
No,
Yeah.
you can counter.
I could counter, but
I'm not doing it preventing. I did it what I thought would win the deal.
Gotcha,
I'm
gotcha.
actually trying to win all the bets.
Gotcha. Okay.
The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are traveling to Jacksonville, Alabama, God's country, Calhoun County, to take on Rich Rod and the Fighting Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Jacksonville State is favored by 5 points, Neal, in this game. But guess what? That's not where I'm going. It's going to be cold. It's at nighttime. Give me the Western Kentucky Jacksonville State under 57.5 tomorrow night. I will be in attendance. Can't wait. I'll be in full Gamecock mode tomorrow, bringing the Conference USA title home to God's country, the foothills of the Appalachians. Calhoun County, the Gamecocks roll tomorrow night. Get the win and the under. Give me the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I don't know enough about either of these two teams to just take the over blindly. I mean, I could, but I have no idea what the score was last week.
19-17.
Yeah, so it's probably good.
Then Tyler Huff, the quarterback for Jacksonville State, got hurt in the third quarter. He has been the magician. They had won 8 straight with him as the starter. He got hurt in the middle of the third quarter. They had to put Smothers in. And I think he's going to play. I mean, Rich Rod says it's game time decision. But he's got an ankle he hurt in the game last week.
Okay. All right, my first pick. God, this is pointless. My first pick. Arizona State lost their top wide receiver last week.
They did.
That's
For the year.
I've been really good on the Sun Devils. I have.
They're hot.
They've been hot. I have.
Scatterboo can run it.
I've ridden them quite a ways.
No, did he?
I'm going to hop off the Sun Devil train here. I'm going to take the dog. Give me Iowa State plus the 1.5.
How about that? Cyclones. Let's go quick U Cyclones. Let's go quick U. I love Cyclones, man. Matt Campbell. Alert. Matt Campbell alert.
Yeah, I know. His name pops up every once in a while, and he always stays where he is. I wonder if this is the time that he does something different.
Don't know yet, but I know his name. I know he's in discussions.
I've heard
he's not in discussions. I know his name is in discussion.
I've heard 2 or 3 things at different places where they are kicking the tires of offering him.
Yes.
Because if he's done this at Iowa State, what could he do if he had rev share?
Oh yeah, he's a ball coach, man. I have been so impressed. Like there's like Nebraska's like this, Iowa State, a bunch of them. So impressed with how they operate. They're good dudes. All right, Scoops. Also Friday night, the UNLV Running Rebs are traveling up to Boise, a place where you froze about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
A place where we did a show from the Albertsons that had a bar. We did it from a bar.
Yep.
In an Albertsons across the street.
That was a nice bar.
It's Albertsons Field, Albertsons Stadium. That's the home of Albertsons, is right there in Boise, Idaho.
Stands to reason.
Probably why they call it Albertsons Field.
Yeah.
The UNLV Running Rebs are taking on Genty and the Boise State Broncos. Boise is favored by 5, I believe, or is it 2.5? I think it's 5. 2.5, maybe. What is it?
4.5.
4.5. But that's not where I'm going, Scoops. Back to back. Give me the UNLV and Boise under 57.5 outside on the blue turf. Cold as shit. UNLV's been playing inside.
Yeah.
Cold weather brings the running game into play. They held Genty to like 3 yards a carry last time. So let's see what happens this game. UNLV's playing better. UNLV has played better. Boise has not played better. Boise has kind of hit their peak and they've plateaued and they're going down a little bit. Give me the UNLV Boise under 57.5.
Okay.
2 back-to-back 57.5s.
I'm just going to follow some rules that I've learned over the years. I'm going to go to the MAC championship game here, and I'm going to take the underdog because the underdog wins this game year after year after year. So give me Ohio +2 against Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio's good. These are 2 good MAC teams.
If I watch a play of this game, which I probably will not, it will be the first MAC snap.
You didn't watch any action this year?
I did not.
Ohio's good. Both of them are good. All right, Scoops. You know, when you got buddies in championship weekend, you know, you got to ride with your boys. I'm a rider. You know that? I'm a loyal guy. Sometimes to my fault. Mm-hmm. But I am a loyal guy. And in the American Championship game, you got the Tulane Green Wave. They're traveling to West Point, New York. They're taking on the Army Black Knights. Coach Nuke's Army Black Knights. And the Army Black Knights have done us well all year long. Tulane is favored by 5 points, Scoops. And guess what? It's not enough. Give me the Tulane Green Wave and the Fighting John Summeralls -5 on the road in West Point tomorrow night against the Army Black Knights.
All right, so this is a spot that I'm just going to counter you because it's cold. It's cold. It's cold.
We're going against Summerall too? I mean, what are we doing?
I mean, I'm gonna
guest of the show.
I'm gonna gamble.
Guest of our show.
I'm gonna gamble that John's team is going to be a little distracted by 2 things. One, John's imminent departure and their imminent entry into the transfer portal. I'm betting. I don't know these things to be true.
Or they could be excited they're going to get paid.
Could be. But that would make them distracted. And so I'm going to take Army, the undistracted team, +5.
Okay. Anyway, we can call up there and get a crisis going on between now and then. Maybe they're distracted and got somewhere to go after the game.
I mean, I'm
sure we can figure
something out. Given the current administration, I bet nothing against them.
All right, Scoops.
Hopefully the president's asleep right now, so that won't happen.
There is a game, the Sun Belt Championship game, taking place in your home state.
Yes, Louisiana.
The Marshall Thundering Herd.
The Pelican State, Sportsman's Paradise.
Are traveling to Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yes.
And it's not Lafayette, it's Lafayette.
It's Lafayette.
The ULL Raging Cajuns. They don't like when you call them ULL, by the way.
I don't care. It's what they are.
It's U of L.
Get over
They
it.
let me know that all the time.
U of L at
the
L.
University of Louisiana.
At Lafayette.
At Lafayette. The ULL Raging Cajuns are hosting in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game, the Marshall Thundering Herd. And Charles Huff with one of the most interesting. I'm talking about. I'm all in. Like I'm gonna be looking. I'm just gonna be like refreshing my Twitter to see what happens with Charles Huff. Charles Huff is taking his Marshall Thundering Herd. Talking about distracted teams.
Yeah, I know.
The ULL Raging Cajuns are favored by 6. The 10-2 Raging Cajuns. They're going to be 11-2. Give me the Raging Cajuns -6 at home against the Marshall Thundering Herd. I'm all in on this Charles Huff thing. I mean, he's got his name in all kinds of places right now. Southern Miss thinks it's done. He got some other ones.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that think they got Charles. Like, I'm curious. Like, I don't know who Charles Huff's agent is, but whoever you are, sir, you've done a hell of a job.
Yep.
I don't know who you are, but whoever Charles Huff agent is, y'all need to go sign with him because he has done a fantastic job in making sure that a lot of people whether it's true or not, think that he's going to be their next head coach. Congratulations, which drives the price up. Great job on that agent's part.
All right, I'm going to the SEC championship game because I have a rule. I have rules. I have betting rules that have done me well. I have lots of betting
see
rules.
my money line for you.
Don't. I saw it.
All right.
This
Trying to help you out.
Yeah. Anytime you offer Georgia and points, I take them. Give me Georgia plus the 3.
Okay.
It's on betting on nothing but just a rule.
Nothing but a rule.
Georgia, you're giving me Georgia and points, I'll take them.
Wow. Very interesting game. Very interesting game. Scoops. The ACC championship game. There's one thing that's going to be for certain here is we got America's team. The Clemson Tigers. By the way, Dabo saw our clip. He loved it.
Which clip?
Of America's team.
Oh, okay. Did he?
Yeah, he loved it. He loved it. Told us to tell thank you. He loves it. The Clemson Tigers.
I've never met Dabo. I have a feeling I would really like Dabo. I have a feeling we would get along quite well.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling
I know someone who I'll be careful here. I know someone who interviewed with them.
Yeah.
Who was very, very impressed with Dabo.
I've told you, I'm not even joking. Like, I knew people there. So I got, I got 3 coaches that I've coached with before that are on that staff.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the best way to put this? All right, you know I can tell I said. Sometimes when you got buddies that are assistants at other places, and you see them late in the year,
yeah,
they're like, oh, please let this in. Even they're just
they're done.
They're done. They're tired.
They're exhausted.
They're exhausted. Dude, all of them.
They're like mentally. They've been mentally harassed.
Like, let me tell you what stood out to me. This really stood out to me. Is all of my friends last week of the season, they look like they just got off vacation, man. They were fresh as a daisy, nice, happy. I'm like, holy shit! Like, it's like, damn. Like, I'm talking about just happy as all get out. Everybody's so nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be nice. Like, to the point, I'm telling you that you almost felt like this can't be real. You're too nice. What's the trick?
Yeah.
Just the nicest people in the world.
How about that?
America's team.
America's team.
I pledge allegiance to the flag. Full-fledged Southern Baptist prayer. God bless America. The Star-Spangled Banner and a flyover by F-35s. # America's team.
How about that?
And I got somebody that heard it sent us a clip of the flyover this past week in the South Carolina game.
How about that?
Loved it.
How about that?
Here we go.
Yep.
The Clemson Tigers have new life. They're playing an ACC championship game against the SMU Ponies, the Mustangs. I also have friends with the Ponies. Ponies, SMU, Quick U clients. Awesome people. Rhett Lashley, really like Rhett Lashley, what he's doing. All of our friends down at SMU. Very difficult to pick this game. SMU is favored.
By 2. Mm-hmm.
And Scoops, guess what? That's not where I'm going. Give me the under.
You think she ever yells, that's not where I'm going?
I think he yells it a lot. I don't think she yells it.
You think she ever yells, that's not enough?
It's probably been said before.
Yeah.
It's probably been said before, Scoops.
Probably not yelled like that, though. It's probably more like, that's not enough. Right?
Probably not yelled.
Yeah, it's
with excitement.
More of a disappointment.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't text. You need to. It's all about the context, right?
Right.
Give me the under 55.5. We're outdoors.
Yeah.
We got two good defenses going against each other.
Yeah.
SMU very explosive offense. I said this. I think Clemson played their best game of the year in a losing effort last week.
Yeah.
So they're getting better. And nothing would make me more happy. I'm all about calamity this week. I want to see the playoff committee put in a pickle. And they're going to be put in a pickle regardless of what happens here.
Yeah.
So they're just dreading this. So what you got?
I'm just laughing.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, I'm not.
It's your 5th pick time.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable going over 55.5 in that game. It just feels wrong. Feels like I'm just giving one away there. All right, so
Kelly on TikTok says it sounds like you need a nap.
No, I'm good. I'm in the 4th quarter of a game that you're realizing that you're losing, and it might have gotten to the point where you're not coming back. even might want to think about pulling the starters right now. All right, here's another rule. Bet against James Franklin in big games.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they got to play Oregon this week. Not Maryland, not Minnesota, not Purdue, not Michigan State, not the rest of this completely overrated league, USC, UCLA. Who else is in the league that's so mighty and powerful? Rutgers. Woo, Rutgers. Who else we got? Who else we got in the Big Ten?
Purdue.
Oh, yeah, Purdue. Iowa. Ooh, nobody goes to Kinnick Field.
I was pretty salty this year.
Oh, they're fine.
They're salty.
They're fine.
They're salty.
They're fine.
They're salty.
They
can run the football.
Yes. They can punt it too. Really.
They can play defense.
They can punt that. This year they haven't played defense that well.
You know why? Got too spready on offense.
Maybe so. Illinois.
I'm trying to tell you all that. Nobody want to listen to you.
Northwestern. I mean, the list just goes on and on. But this is Oregon. Oregon's in. And you're asking me to lay 3.5 indoors? I'll do it. Give me Oregon minus 3.5.
I'll do it. I love it. How cold is it going to be, by the way? I didn't even ask John this. How cold is it going to be in West Point, New York tomorrow night?
About what it's going to be tonight at Oxford.
Oh, my God.
About 25 degrees.
Is that how cold it's going to be tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Neal, do you know what time it is? It's time for Money Line. All right, Scoops. I also have a rule with my money line. This team has hit a money line.
Wisconsin. Woo, Wisconsin. That's scary. Oh, God, everyone, we must go to Camp Randall.
That's tough.
Okay.
That's tough.
Sure. It was real hard on Alabama.
Early in the season. They also had their starting quarterback hurt in the first drive.
Okay.
I mean, you seen Alabama play?
I have. At Oklahoma.
Yeah. Scoops.
I'm on record. I don't think Alabama should get in.
Would you put SMU in above Alabama?
Yes.
Would you put Miami in above Alabama?
I would not.
Would you put Clemson in above Alabama?
If it wins, sure.
Would you put South Carolina in above Alabama?
No, because of head-to-head.
Okay. So basically you put
Keep
SMU.
going. Ask me one more.
Well, we know the Ole Miss. You're going to say Ole Miss.
I think Ole Miss is better than Alabama.
I think Ole Miss is the best of the 3 lost teams.
I think Ole Miss is better
But
than
that was over when they put Alabama in front of Ole Miss 2 weeks ago.
It was.
Alabama had to lose. All right, here we go. The Georgia Bulldogs are taking on the Texas Longhorns.
This is your money line,
This
right?
is my money line.
Yep. Okay.
The Georgia Bulldogs are taking on, I made a number over there, or taking on because the lines moved, are taking on the Texas Longhorns. What'd you say they're favored by?
It's 3.
Money line is?
120.
So it hadn't moved. That part hadn't moved. The Georgia Bulldogs in Texas. Georgia went to Austin and won 30-15 about a month ago. Now Texas is going to what they think is a neutral field. It will not be a neutral field in Atlanta. The Georgia Bulldogs will secure the SEC title on Saturday night against the Longhorns. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs plus 120 in the Dome on Saturday night. I got to ride with them, man. I can't. You give me Georgia as an underdog. I mean, that's a free space. I said it again when they played Texas out there. If you're giving me Georgia as an underdog, it's a free space. Give me Georgia plus 120.
Okay. All right. So I'm just kind of hunting for value here. So I've got Western Kentucky at plus 160. I don't like that game. I got UNLV plus 160. They never beat Boise. Boise hadn't played great lately, but
you got Western Kentucky's an underdog, UNLV's an underdog, Army's an underdog.
I've already taken Army.
Marshall's an underdog.
I could double up on Army.
Clemson's an underdog. Georgia's an underdog. Penn State's an underdog.
Yeah, I don't like Marshall. I mean, I would love for Marshall to go ruin everything at Cajun Field. That would make me laugh, but that feels like a distracted team. And all right, so I'm going to take, you know what? America.
Oh. Hashtag
Why
America.
not?
Let's go. America's team.
They were right there with South Carolina. It was a hell of a game last week, actually. I'll take Clemson plus the 110.
Clemson plus 110.
And you know
hashtag America's team.
Because that gives us the chaos on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Just be eating with a bag of popcorn. Just eating with a bag of popcorn.
So Clemson plus 110. It's not a great value, but I'll see if I pick up a game.
Love it. Love it. All right, Scoops, it's time for NFL. NFL, the National Football League. And I'm going to give you a free space here. Do you know why I'm going to give you a free space?
Why is that?
Because I'm going to pick a game tonight. I think I'm 0-79 from the season on Thursday night games.
Yeah, you've not done well on Thursday nights, and I've actually done fairly well on Thursday nights.
Yeah, I'm like 0 for 75. Neal, the Green Bay Packers are traveling tonight to Detroit. They're taking on the Detroit Lions. Detroit is banged up, man. They are banged up. They got like 13 dudes on IR. 13 of they're like 45 to start the season are on IR. But you know who's not on IR?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff's not on IR.
Nope, he's not.
Do you know who else is not on IR?
Barry Sanders.
He's retired. Neither is Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is not on IR.
It's true.
David Montgomery's not on IR.
Okay.
St. Brown's not on IR. Williams is not on IR. Laporte is not on IR. And you know who's out for the Green Bay Packers? Both of their corners.
Yeah, it's true.
Give me the Detroit Lions -3 at home tonight. Glad it's moved. I was scared of it at 3.5. Give me the Detroit Lions -3 at home versus the Green Bay Packers.
All right, so I'm just going to have to roll the dice here and go the other way and see if I can't have a swing game. I'll go Green Bay plus the 3. I've actually had good luck on Thursday nights with dogs. I've had good luck with underdogs on Thursday nights. I will see if I can't just keep that week streak alive.
Yeah, it's a weird. Like I almost played the over here, but it scared me because they were such a low scoring game in Green Bay like a month ago. They beat Green Bay by 10 in Green Bay like a month ago. So, all right, Scoots, my next game. The Las Vegas Raiders are traveling for a noon kickoff in Tampa. The Tampa Bay Bucks are 6.5-point favorites at home. And guess what, Scoops?
What's that?
It's not enough. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You said it's not enough.
Give me the Tampa Bay. It's not enough.
Not enough. It's just not enough.
Next, it's not enough, Scoops.
It's just not enough.
It's not enough. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -6.5 at a noon kickoff in Tampa. They got to win. Tampa's on a place in a good spot in the division. If they got a nice easy schedule going. They got some guys back. Let's see them roll a bit going on. They had a great comeback win against the Panthers on Sunday. So let's go Bucks.
Okay. All right, I might circle back to that. You know what? I need to play the game this way. I'm looking. Hold on.
All good.
I'm looking.
All good in the neighborhood.
Not super prepared here for this one.
On TikTok, Lynn said, so basically do not do your Thursday night. No, kidding. No, do not. Go just the opposite. Neal's going to win tonight. Neal, the Green Bay Packers are guaranteed to win. I'm literally like 0 for like the year. I don't know if I've hit a single Thursday night bet all year.
The last time we did one, I had Cleveland. You had the Steelers, and I got it.
Yeah, they won outright.
Yeah. It's one I might go to. All right, I'll circle back to that one. I actually like this one. Cleveland's one team at home. They're another team on the road.
Yeah.
They got Pittsburgh the last time. I don't think they get Pittsburgh this time around. Give me the Steelers, even minus the big number. Give me Pittsburgh -6.5.
I had that on there. I took it off. Like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, the Browns are so finicky. I'm with you, dog. So I had the Browns +6 on, was that Monday night? I took the Browns +6 and Jameis twice.
Pick six.
All right, so they're covering, okay?
Yeah.
They're covering. The Broncos are going to run the clock out. Like, just go down. And he gets picked. The receiver doesn't touch him while he's down. He gets pissed off, and the guy gets up and runs it back for a touchdown and covers. Then they drive back down the field again, need a touchdown to cover, and he throws a freaking pick in the end zone. I was like, oh, he's killing me. So I'm kind of shy of famous Jameis right now with my money. All right, Scoops, my third bet. The Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets are traveling to Miami.
Yes.
To take on the Dolphins. The Dolphins coming off their 30-17 loss that cost me by half a point on my over last week. The Dolphins are taking on the Jets in a must-win divisional situation.
Yep.
Because the Bills have already clinched. Looking for that wild card. Give me the Miami Dolphins. It's -5.5. And guess what, Scoops? It's not enough. Give me the Miami Dolphins -5.5 because it's just not enough, Scoops. No diddy.
Not enough. All right, I'm gonna bet that it's too much. I'm gonna go the other way on this.
Now she may scream that.
That would make you feel good, you know. I mean, that would.
It's too much.
That's when you know she's lying, and it's like,
thanks for the confidence booster.
Yeah. Can I tell you what I've been wanting for Christmas?
Wow. This thing went dark in a hurry.
We're just a little. Sometimes you issue some compliments to set things up. I mean, come on. Whenever you get like a series of questions leading up to something, you know something's coming, right? Like,
no diddy.
Yeah, right. You hope it is. But in this case, you know it is.
In your 50s.
Yeah. And so it's, hey, did you know so-and-so? It's like, where are we going with this? Oh, you know that guy. Mm-mm. It's always leading to, hey,
where are you going, Scoops?
What do you think about this? I always love that. Do you have plans Friday night? What do you want me to do? You know what I mean?
Dog, I'm with
That's
you.
coming.
So
there's this party we got invited to, and I need no.
Yeah, every time I laugh. Now that I run my own company, I think my wife thinks I'm on vacation 365 days a year. She's like, "What time do you get done with work?" All right, just what do you need? What do you need? What what you need?
Yeah.
What time do you get done with your stuff tomorrow?
Yeah.
What do you need?
What is it that you want?
What you need?
Just get it out.
I did ask the UPS guy today if I was his only delivery today. We had a stack, man. I'm like,
oh my God.
Leads the NCAA and Amazon boxes.
How many boxes?
I don't know. It took me 5 minutes to bring them in.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 4 boxes today. I'm just like,
oh no. 14, 15, something like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go Jets plus the 5.5.
Jets plus the 5.5. All right. My fourth pick.
Mac Attack, thanks for the super chat. Maybe Tyler knows the answer. I don't. He goes, what's up with the Mississippi State noise around their sports marketing staff?
I do know.
All getting fired. I have no idea.
So it was like the creative team, I guess. There's more to that story. I will say this. We can do life. You want to do life advice by Cole Walters?
Sure. Life advice is presented by our friend Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850 or at colewaltersinsurance.com.
If you're in a profession and you get terminated from your job, any profession, Scoops, if you're whatever you want to do, if you're a salesperson, if you are a whatever, and you get fired, and that's your profession.
Mm-hmm.
Life advice brought to you by Cole Walters State Farm, licensed anywhere in the state of Georgia. Don't go tweet out and throw shade on said employer right after you get terminated on social media, because the likelihood of you getting further employed inside of that profession is going to be diminished by about 99.99%.
That's true.
Because people don't want fucking headaches. And when you have a skill set that many other people have, they will much rather go to the person that's just going to do their job and keep their mouth shut and not complain. There's more to that story than what's on Twitter. I'll just leave it at that.
Got it.
So that's life advice. Don't air your grievances for the whole world to see if you have further aspirations of working in the profession. There you go.
Okay.
All right, my fourth pick, Neal.
Fourth pick.
The Buffalo Bills are traveling to L.A. to take on the Rams.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills are hot.
They are red hot.
Hot. Hot. Josh Allen is playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who the receivers are. It's Shakir. It doesn't matter who's hurt, who's playing, who's not. It's Kincaid in, it's Kincaid out. If it's not Kincaid, it's Dawson Knox. It does not matter. If Cook gets cooking, it's just a matter of time. The Bills are favored by 3.5 at the Rams, who are okay, but they're not great. They find ways to lose games instead of finding ways to win games. Give me the Buffalo Bills minus 3.5, and it's not enough at the Rams.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about this one. There's going to be a chance for me to double up, too, and I don't hate it because it's out there. The Bills have to go across the country. Sometimes that's a factor for NFL teams. I'll roll the dice here. I'll take the home team Rams and plus the 3.5.
All right, Scoops, my last pick in taking this bad boy all the way. I think it's either Sunday night or Monday night. Maybe Monday night.
It's Monday night.
Our Cincinnati Bengals Monday night,
which is fitting because we won't be together on Monday. We won't do a show because I'll be out of pocket Monday. Remember?
Yes,
I did tell you.
Yes, we'll talk about it. Yeah, I will see if AJ still wants to go or not. Probably will. I don't know. We'll see. I remember now that you just said that.
Yes, I will be.
I'm glad you reminded me.
I will be out of pocket Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
That's right. Scoops. I'll write that down. The Cincinnati Bengals are taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And the Bengals are favored again. They're like 4-8, and they're favored again against the Dallas Cowboys, who are flailing. But Scoops, that's not where I'm going. The Cincinnati Bengals couldn't stop me and Scoops on offense right now. The Cowboys, but let me tell you what they can do. They can score points. Give me the Bengals Cowboys over 49.5. Bengals Cowboys over 49.5.
Yeah, I like that one too. Might try to negate your win a little bit here. Maybe I've had some luck because I like Cincinnati in this game. I'll go Bengals minus the 5.5 on the road at Dallas, even though they can't stop anyone. Anyone.
It's bad.
But they score at will.
Can't play zone coverage in the league that much. They would get picked. The quarterbacks are too good.
Yeah. So I'll go Cincy minus the 5.5.
Hey, got a little text here about 10 minutes ago. Breaking news on the North Carolina head coaching job.
Just the Belichick thing.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick interviews for North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, if you're North Carolina, why would you not interview someone like that?
That's interesting.
I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that he gives you something to think about, some people to think about, some insight. Whenever you have an opportunity to talk to people that have won at a really, really high level, you should. That's why, if I'm in all seriousness, I meant this when I said it. I know he's not taking the job, but if I'm West Virginia, I absolutely call Nick Saban.
They did.
Yeah, of course they did. It's okay to get rejected. Okay, now, I got to ask you this. He's going to be flattered. Okay. If you were in our shoes, who are some people you'd look at?
Yeah.
What would you be looking for? Give me some thoughts, please. Makes sense.
Interesting. Bill Belichick in college.
I'd be worried about his age being used against him in recruiting. Although these days, I don't know that it matters anymore because you're not.
I mean, you just had a team sign 22 kids with no coach.
Yeah, you're not signing kids for 5 years. The whole, hey, that coach has a 5-year contract. He's going to be there for 5.
Yeah.
The other thing's going to happen is you now don't have to roll coaches' contracts over anymore. You go, screw it. We're just going to you took a year off your contract. Leave it there.
They should.
Of course.
Now, with that being said, I think let's say you sign a 5 or 6 year deal. I think it should give coaches more time to succeed. But when you get the days of getting like Purdue, let's use Purdue as an example. Purdue went 1-11 this year. Let's say coach comes in there and wins 6 games next year, goes 6-6. You don't roll him over. You don't go give him the big bump. You just let him coach his contract. Yeah. So that's all I got, boss.
All right, we'll wrap it there. Tyler will be on social media. He'll let you know whether he's got something on Monday. I will not be around on Monday. I'll be back on
sad day, Scoops.
On Tuesday. Oh, it'll be okay. We'll be all right. Be okay. Plan to be back on Tuesday. You never know in this world. I've said it on another show. I'll say it again today. My condolences to the family and friends of Bob Holt, longtime Arkansas Democrat-Gazette beat writer, covered the Razorbacks for, 40 years. Anybody who works in my field, who's been a beat writer in this part of the country over the last 4 decades, not only knew Bob, but really loved Bob, cared about Bob. Bob's one of the nicest people that ever did what we do for a living. Michael Casagrande wrote a great column today on AL.com about Bob, and that very fact that the man just had nobody that disliked him in a field full of people who all dislike each other. Everybody liked Bob Holt. Just a great person, and just a tragic loss. My thoughts are with his colleagues at the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Tom Murphy, who's a longtime friend, Wally Hall, longtime friend, people I've known for a long time. I know they're hurting, and my thoughts with all the people in the Arkansas beat who are close with Bob. Just a fantastic human being and a real loss to humanity, really. Rest in peace. We'll be back on later this week. We've been brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams, natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoop's been brought to you by our good friends at PTG Outdoors. Discover Garmin at PTG Outdoors. From cycling and running watches to tax indoor cycling, Garmin brings innovation to your fitness journey. Track health metrics, explore maps, and enjoy GPS precision for cycling, golf, and outdoor adventures. Dive deeper with swim tracking, train smarter with dog tracking tools, and monitor performance on land and water. Explore Garmin's range, including smartwatches, scales, and advanced off-road instruments. Available now at ptgoutdoors.com. Also brought to you by our good friends at Kia of Meridian. Are you looking for an unbeatable deal? Kia of Meridian has you covered with rates as low as 1.9% on new rides. Whether it's the ever-popular Telluride, the Sorrento, the Sportage, or the K5, we've got something for everyone. Plus, a huge selection of new and used vehicles. And here's the best part. With any new or used vehicle purchase, you'll get a chance to spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. Don't wait. Come by Kia of Meridian or call 601-483-6444 and drive away a winner today. Kia of Meridian, your road, your ride, your deal.
Have a great weekend. See you soon.